Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Wow, we are back from Florida. We have been getting back into life. It's been 5 days since we've gotten back, and it took a little bit of time. I mean, a couple things. There was so much to catch up on, especially yesterday. We got lots of things done. Turned our taxes in to our tax guy. Wow. And then our plumbing got weird in the sink, so we had to have the plumber out yesterday. It's my favorite. And we had some family stop by yesterday, and we went to church on Sunday, which was great. Saw all of our old peoples, and it was just, you just got a lot to catch up on when you've been gone for a while. So now we're back. George is back. He looks like an absolute ragamuffin. The groomer can't see him for a little while, but that's okay. Next week maybe, so that's not too long. But I thought, we're getting back to life. We're doing stuff. I wanted to show you guys something that's really been cool that we've been working on. I found this while we were gone in Florida, and I thought, this is brilliant. So it's been changing my life. Anybody like routines? Anybody you're like, I'm a mama, I got a lot of kids, I got to think about meal planning and all that stuff, and you tried all the things? I've tried all the things. I think I have found the thing that is working for us, and I will show it to you. Okay, so this thing is called the Skylight calendar, not sponsored, not nothing. I bought it with my own monies, and I saw this thing a couple years ago, and then recently I saw it at Sam's Club, and I thought, you know what? I think it's gonna be worth the investment. I did some research into it, and I'm like, we're gonna do it. So you've got the calendar that can connect with your Google Calendar on your phone, or there's several other calendars it can connect with. And then here's all the chores, and you put in each kid, and they're color-coded, and then you get stars for each one, and so that's always exciting. At the end of the day, you're like, oh, I got my stars, I'm so awesome. And it just goes down the list. They've already done some of them. So they're gonna say good morning, clean up their breakfast. They're gonna get dressed and brush their teeth, fix their hair, tidy up their room. Then we've got table school, lunch and kitchen cleanup. And for most everybody, they all have the same routine, except on some days like today, when Israel and Ezra are gonna have piano practice. And it's just so nice because you go, what's the next thing on the list? Like, let's go do that. So then we've got lunch and kitchen cleanup. We've got book school, outside and movement time. We've got hobbies and talents. Today they have piano lessons. And then they've got chores that they have to do and eat their dinner, although that probably gets more like switched. Kitchen cleanup, tidy their bedroom, again, real fast. We do it twice. It keeps it easy. It keeps it tidy. And then they have their bath and their shower. They get their PJs on. They can have some free time until 7. And then we start having a little bedtime snacky. And everybody takes their magnesium to have happy sleep. We brush our teeth. And then the boys don't have to go to bed right away because that's a little on the earlier side. But they can read and hang out. And they play with the dog. And they do their thing. And then everybody has their thing. It has been so awesome. Now also, we're kind of buying groceries for about 4 days at a time. My kids are always asking, what's for dinner? What's for breakfast? What's for this? What's for that? And my brain can't take that. So I started putting it out, and this has been so fantastic because they don't have to ask me a bunch of times. And the only thing we need to do is, I don't know if on here I can add another snack. Oh, categories. No, it doesn't give me another snack to add. Well, what? Okay, let me see, Knowles. Show them what we do. Come here. Their teeth look beautiful. Where's Snowly? Oops. Tap anywhere outside the box. That girl. Now tap the white part again.
Okay, this one?
Yep, the white circle. Yay! Good job. Now what do we have to do? Brush our hair. Let's go. So it's keeping everybody on task and helping to redo. When you're home a lot, it's really, hold on a second. When you're home a lot, it's really easy to go, oh, you can do this now, you can do that then. And everybody's doing stuff and it's just kind of chaotic feeling. This just goes, okay, we do bath time at this time. And we do, instead of oh, can we do it now? Because we just have a minute. No, let's just do it at the same time. Keep the schedule going, and it's kind of beautiful. Actually, it's been amazing. Now, yesterday was a little bit of a day that was off for part of the day. Then you just pick up where you left off. That's the beauty of it. It's not time sensitive. I mean, I think my kids, the eating time would be quite time sensitive, but.
Mom, there's no picture.
Yeah, I see that. It's okay. So it's been working, guys. It's been working so much, and I'm in love. I'm in love. School time. School time. School time. School time. Working. Work, right? School time. How'd we do? T-shirt? Oh, we need to write a sentence. Write a sentence about what clothes you like to wear. So are you saying you like to wear t-shirts?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make that a sentence.
Banana.
Okay, and then what goes at the end of a sentence?
Banana.
Yes. Okay, now write a sentence about your favorite toys. Okay, now Zizi, go ahead and do your trace and write the letters. And what do you do when you trace and write them?
Trace and write them in the back.
And say the
I forgot it.
sound.
Sound,
You
yes.
say the sound.
Frost.
Where do I look? I have my phone the other way. Also, my nose is peeling. I got burned only one time, and it was the last week. How does that even happen? Did you get burned in the Florida? No. And the kids didn't either, which is great. Also, we have a tiger in the car, so don't be scared. It's nice outside. How many degrees? 47, which almost feels like... Didn't I say you were a tiger? She forgot she had a face paint on.
George.
It's 47 degrees outside, which is heavenly. And it really feels like a heat wave.
And it helps with the February blues.
Does anybody else get the February blues? Do you get the February blues?
Yeah, because you're ready for spring, but it's not here yet.
No.
You gotta wait 4 more weeks, is that right?
Yeah, really, Daddy's trying to throw me under the bus because I have had the February blues for the last few days.
No. You?
It's fine. Yeah, you know, all the things you're just like, I just don't want to.
Even George gets the February. Look at George.
George, do you have the February blues? Look at you. This fur. He's like, I don't have the February blues, but we're going to have fun.
Riding in the car is like...
His favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets so excited. And he's really kind of gross right now.
How?
He's just got matted fur everywhere, and he's got these huge, long mustache that come up to his eyes. He
Yeah.
looks like Robotnik.
We had him groomed, but we got it like 2 weeks before we left because that's what we could do. And then we were gone for 5 weeks, and then he doesn't get groomed again for another next week, I think is when it is. So he'll get ship shape again, hopefully. But it's hard when it's snowy out and you get wet and blah, 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 blah. So we're gonna go to the park, have a little walk around, and just take in that weather again, that happy sun.
Yeah, get our vitamin D
That's right, we gotta get the vitamin D. So,
to wash away the February blues.
is there a song about that? What's that blues song?
Blue?
Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. There's another one though. I don't know what it is. Anyway, yeah.
Always when we open the windows, George always puts his face in the window.
He loves it, doesn't he?
He just likes to get in his face. So
Yeah, we gotta lock our windows or George will open them all up.
Because he stands at the window and then his paw hits the button.
Saturday is March 1st,
Oh,
so we only have
so we can only have the February blues for a few more days.
so we only have 3 more days.
And then it's March happy.
No, 4 more days of
Okay.
February blues, and then it's over.
They're all like, Megan, you weren't even here.
I know.
But you know what? Sometimes the February blues come from things other than the weather. It's just kind of like a blah time of year, even though we were having fun and, well, there was a lot of life happening, which I told you guys all about. But you still can get it just a little like, everybody's sort of just hunkering down. But that's okay. March is coming. And then we'll
And then
just...
there'll be flowers and green.
Yeah, right now it's brown. Everywhere
Everywhere
is
it's
brown.
Yeah, the grass, everything's dormant, and then everything comes alive.
George, what's going on here?
Is it okay? Yeah.
Oh,
Got this rug up here with us.
you are so...
He's like a Sasquatch.
He's like a woolly worm, Sasquatch. You're just a big fluff ball. Are we gonna shave them all the way down?
No.
That's not Marky's favorite.
Now he's just breathing in my face.
George, that's you. Are you scared? He's like, I am in my happy place.
Hey, I think he thinks that. Wait, it's happening. Hey, Mom, remember that time where George did this thing?
Sure.
Whole. Mom, remember that time? Remember last time we came going to rub his face in the mud?
Yes. George, you're not going to rub your face in the mud this time, are you? Don't do it. We've been walking on this trail now for a few minutes, and I think our entire conversation has been about poop. Dog poop, animal poop, people leaving their animals' poo on the ground. That's what we talk about. The depth of our relationships is really, it's about poop. It's fine. How about that? Just wildness. We went home, had lunch, then Mama went to get her nails done because it's been like 3 weeks, and I got my toes done too, so they're looking fresh and fruity. Craziest thing, when I was in Florida, my skin did not get dry, especially my feet did not get dry as soon as we came home. I guess it's just with the heat on and there's not really any humidity in the air. That is what it is. I'm gonna go home. I've got to prep some dinner. We're gonna be having some chuck roast, and then boys are going to piano lessons. Girls have it next week. And then we've got the girls going to gymnastics tonight. It's kind of a full day. Good morning, it's another day. And I've only been up since like 3:30. It's fine, sometimes this happens. Usually around my cycle time, my brain just says, less sleep is better. Actually, I go to sleep at a good time at night, so waking up that early isn't terrible. But I just wanted to let you know, I've got my sweet potatoes and my peppers and my onions in there for a little sweet potato hash, salt and pepper, olive oil, 450. Oh, it's not preheated all the way, but that doesn't matter. Sometimes I do 400, sometimes 450, who knows? Maybe I should change it to 400. Yeah, that feels better. Oh, it's ready. And then I've got a smoothie going here for the kids. I'm gonna make eggs. I'm gonna do a little toasty toast. And then this morning, because you know, I was just up and at 'em, ready to go, I switched over the laundry, and I got the laundry that was in the dryer, separated it all out. I got the whole house picked up. We just kind of had a weird evening last night, so everything was kind of left everywhere, and I was awake anyway, so I thought, why not? And then Robbie Bob. Do you guys know about Robbie Bob? Yeah, you know, I've told you. Robbie Bob is our vacuum floor guy, and he doesn't want to choke on anything, so we have to make sure everything's picked up. But I did that, and he just makes the carpet look good, and he gets the dirt up, and it's just a beautiful thing. And what else happened? Oh, got all the school stuff out, ready for the day. I took a shower, I got dressed. Thank you, appreciate that. And oh, here's what I did this morning. So, it used to be that these two little cabinets flanking the sink held the glasses and the mugs and the coffee stuff. And over here there was some vitamin stuff. But it was just getting to the point where things were not fitting very well. So here's what I did. This used to be my baking cabinet, but the glasses and the mugs and the coffee stuff just weren't really working out so well the way that they were. So we've got all of that situated. And then over here, I just moved the baking stuff, and everything fits really nicely, and it's right by where I do the baking. So bada bing, bada bacon. I was just kind of impressed with myself. Thought you would be too. Oh, I think I did the medicine vitamins too. So these are like things I put in smoothies, and then we have our electrolytes. I've got creatine, my vitamins up here, and then we've got the kids' magnesium stuff, and then Marcus has his vitamins, and I've got some of my other magnesium vitamins over there too, but I just like to get it done. It feels like a great get it done morning already, and it's only 7:36. I need to get eggs going, and I need to get toast going, blend up the smoothie. Yeah, it's just great. Girls had gymnastics last night. They did great. and we Marky went and bought some treats for the kids because Mama didn't buy any or very much, and he thought maybe a few treats would be good. So we had some treats last night and watched a little show together as the fam, and then off to bed everybody went, and it was great. I was so tired yesterday, but now I feel alive and awake and ready to go, roaring to go. So it's book report time. I got through almost all of the books that I brought with me to Florida, which we've already talked about a lot of them. We talked about The Covenant of Water from Abraham Burgess, which was excellent. I liked that one. We talked about None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I think we're crooked here, I'm sorry. And I feel like there was maybe some more, but it's just not hitting my brain cells at the moment. Did we talk about The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden? I read the book The Housemaid to begin with, and it was starting off good, and it's got, suspense, mystery, what's going to happen, and then it gets like, it's kind of like not really a murder mystery, but there's some things that happen is what I'm trying to say. And in the first book, there's like this turn of events and you're like, oh, I did not see that coming. And then it ends and you're like, okay, cool. So then we did The Housemaid's Secret, which was very good. I actually enjoyed it and it kept you wanting to read it. I read this book very, very quickly and enjoyed it very much so. So there's this girl and she's in the first book too. So this all goes together, and her name is Millie. She's gonna work for this family. She has a past where some stuff happened, so she can't always easily get a job. And she has done different jobs where she's like kind of helping people get away from the relationship with the bad guy, kind of a thing. And whether the husband or whatever, and she kind of, it's not always the most proper way to do things, but she helps them to get safe. And then she gets this job, and strange things start happening, and the wife, she's like really sickly and nobody's supposed to go near her, and then she's like, oh no, she needs help, things are really bad, and then things start getting crazy, and I don't want to tell you all the things. What I'm going to tell you though is it's a very easy read, even though it's a lot of pages, and it was just really quite enjoyable and just kept you going. This perfect home has one rule: don't look behind closed doors. If only she'd have listened. But then again, yeah. And then the other one that I read was The Mystery Guest, a maid novel. This one also goes with the first one. I think there's 3 in this series, maybe. So I read The Maid, and it's about Molly. Molly works in a hotel, and one of the guests, she finds that he's dead. But because of like her personality and the way that she deals with life and doesn't really understand certain jokes or certain expressions, and she's very meticulous in how she does things, it kind of made it look like she did it. And so you're looking through the whole book trying to figure out, like, no, she couldn't have done it, and figuring out who done it. You know what I mean? And then this is the next one. So she's still at the hotel. It's still Molly, still some of the people that were in the first book, but now another person is dead. And it gives the whole history about all of that and how she was connected to this person. And for a minute, they're like, was it you? She's like, it wasn't me. And then they think it was somebody else. She's, no. And so then you've got to figure out who and what and how it all went together. And this one was also an easy read, very enjoyable, keeps you wanting to read it because it's just like, what's going to happen? And I certainly want to read the next one, which, The Mystery Guest, The Maid. I don't know. I know there's another one. I'm pretty sure of it. This is by Nita Prose, by the way. And then I also read James. This is by Percival Everett, New York Times bestseller. So if you know the book Huckleberry Finn, that whole The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, I never read it. I know. But this is from the viewpoint of the slave, and his name is Jim, but he's called James on the front. And it is so interesting. Also, just a nice read. You just want to keep reading. I wanted to know what was going to happen. And there were so many things that were very interesting to me throughout the whole thing. And they just give it from the slave's point of view and how they felt they had to act and they had to name themselves. And there was just so many interesting things and how he would get into these crazy situations and have to get out of them. And then the book was over. And I thought, what? and I just wanted to know more, but now I really need to go read Huckleberry Finn. So I found this to be quite amazing. When Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, separated from his wife and daughter forever, he runs away until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck has faked his own death to escape his violent father. That's Huck, like Huckleberry. And all of the readers of American literature know, thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the Mississippi River toward the elusive and unreliable promise of the free states and beyond. It's you get to know these people and you're like, I know these people. And I really, really enjoyed it. They go on lots of adventures and your heart is kind of like, I can never understand how people could treat others so terribly and so horribly, and the way that they dealt with it and the way that they, navigated that. It's just something. So those are the books that I finished. I finished a lot. I think while I was gone, I finished 6 books. And then I started Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. So I'm just a little ways into that one, not too far. But I'm enjoying this one as well. I often find that the beginning of the Jane Austen books are a bit like the names and the connections, and I feel like, but didn't I just read that this person was that and that person was this? And then it's all confusing, and I just have to go, Megan, just keep going, don't stop. And then it all sort of makes sense. So if you ever feel that way when you're reading a Jane Austen book, because you're a little bit like me, don't be afraid, just keep going. And if you don't feel that way, I'm proud of you. Way to go, you're awesome. So this is Mansfield Park. We have all a better guide in ourselves if we would attend to it than any other person can be. Okay, when 10-year-old Fanny Price is plucked from squalor to be raised in the comfort at elegant Mansfield Park, home of her well-off relatives, the Bertrams, only her teenage cousin Edmund notices her homesickness and distress. Yeah, so there's these sisters, and the one sister has tons of babies, and she doesn't have money and all this stuff. And they said, well, you know what? We'll just take Fanny, and we'll give her the best education, and we'll make sure that she does all the things to be well off in the world. So give us your daughter. And so she comes over, and she loves her family. Little Fanny does, and so of course she's homesick, and she's not interested in being fancy and learning all the things. But eventually her cousin helps her to feel better, and she sticks around, and that's really as far as I've gotten. So we shall see how it all goes. But I wanted to tell you a couple of books that I'm going to possibly read in March, and books that I'm thinking about that have really spoken to me. One of them is Cutting Stone, and that is, or is it The Cutting of Stone? Cutting Stone, and that one's by Abraham Vergis, and I already have that book, so probably gonna read that one. Also, Emma. So many of you were like, yes, read Emma, you're gonna love it. And then while we were in Florida, I actually picked up this book, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I'm assuming her sister is Charlotte Bronte. Didn't she write Jane Eyre? Am I remembering that wrong? So Anne Bronte, I'll have to look that up and see if this is her sister, but it was just such a beautiful book, and it sounded very interesting. When Helen Graham takes the tenancy of Wildfell Hall, she incites passion and rumor among the local community. Helen's secrets are slowly revealed: the flight from a brutish, dissolute husband, and determination that her son should not follow his example. Regarded as a milestone of feminist literature, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall challenged Victorian standards when it was published in 1848. Ooh, it's going to be saucy. So I thought that sounded interesting. Another couple books that I've been thinking about, the one book is called Husbands. I don't know who the author is, but I'll link it below. So from what I've heard, I was listening to somebody else talk about some books, and this is what I heard. Every time her husband goes up to the attic, he comes back like a different person. And so she has to figure out how to get him to the attic, but what happens if he comes down a person that she really likes? Now she doesn't want him to go back to the attic. And so I thought, right there, that already sounds exciting. I don't know. So I put that on my book list. I believe I was told that The Murder of Highbury, or Murder in Highbury, is kind of like a Jane Austen-ish. Don't quote me on that, but that one sounded interesting. There was another one. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ally Carter. That one sounded interesting. Mr. Pickwick's Guide to Marriageable Young Ladies. Maybe that was more the Jane Austen one. There's another one with Pickwick and Earl's Trip. That's another one, Earl's Trip. Yeah, so I've got some books I want to read. I think they sound interesting. I also have some downstairs that Marcus has read that are probably you know, suspense, mystery type things that I'm interested in reading too. So I think I also downloaded a book on Audible. I was just looking on there to give you a title of the book that I finished last month, and Emma was on there, but I hope that was free and that wasn't the book that I got, because I have Emma right here. Why would I do that? I just looked it up. I think it must have been free. But another one that I downloaded on Audible is The Wedding People. So we'll find out how that is. But I've got a lot of books to read, which is always very exciting. And then I have some movies to watch. I need to watch Mansfield Park. I think my sister-in-law told me is on Paramount Plus. And I probably should look into the other one that I read. That again, Northanger Abbey, and see if there's like some kind of movie, because it's just fun. What books are you guys reading? What are you looking at? What are you interested in? I would love to hear. But thanks for hanging out with me. I think we're gonna wrap this up and call it good. I got kids downstairs that need me. Oh, and a dog that's come to visit. He likes to sneak in. The other night he came in and you couldn't see anybody. I didn't know it was him. And he snuck in, and then all of a sudden, whoom, on the bed. And he was wedged between me and the side of the bed like this. And I can't believe he didn't fall off. He just wanted to be near, just wanted some love. So they're chatting. I'm gonna get going, but thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk with you really soon. Toodaloo.